It's funny. There was one day that we didn't voice memo. And then the next day I'm like, did we not talk for like 3 days? How many days have it been? And she's like, it's only been one day. It's fine. Relax. I'm like, okay, I'm good. But literally I'm voice memoing like in the car, I'm always talking on my phone. And sometimes even my boyfriend's like, who are you talking to? But now he knows. He's like, if I speak to myself like in my phone over here off to the side, I'm talking to Allison. So now people will get it. People might look at you weird, but I feel like checking in and just kind of like talking out your day is going to help you so much, because sometimes there's so many things, like for example, like Lauren, like if you're working or if you're going to school or whatever you're doing and you're like, it's just so much, it really helps to talk it out. Another thing that helps a lot is with a success partner, you can run sneak peeks or webinars together. So I know maybe some of you haven't done this yet, but running a sneak peek with someone, especially for your first couple times or forever, whatever you want to do, it's so helpful, because it's not all on you, and who's ever in, your prospects in that group can see another person's point of view, can see another coach and what, where they're coming from. So it's kind of nice, because who's ever in that group, who's ever interested in learning about the coaching business or, anything like that, it's nice for them to be able to hear from two people. Plus, it's half the work for you. So honestly, like, for example, Allison's super creative. So she usually creates all the graphics, and I don't know, that's just really not my thing, and I'm not very tech savvy. So she's got me on that. But if she's like, okay, create a document and, brain dump in there, and let's talk content, we can do that too. So it's kind of nice, because you got each other's backs in that way. So running sneak peeks webinars definitely helps, especially your first couple times. Trust me, it's going to be nerve-wracking, but it's so worth it. Also, challenge groups. I know at the beginning, when I first started and my first success partner, her and I were running a challenge group together. And you can do this with your upline also, but running a challenge group together or collabing. So like, for example, Allison has access to mine and I have access to hers. And, on the days when you're just like, I just don't know what to post, or you're revamping it for a new month and you're like, I have no idea what to do. Like, I have no thoughts. You guys can help each other on that, because why create more work for yourself when you got someone who has your back and someone who can give you ideas and spark creativity and, help you come up with topics and content. The other thing I just wanted to say is support and questions. I know there's a lot of times, for example, my upline is super MIA. Like, I don't even know she's in the business. We don't have any line of communication. So for example, my upline's upline, which is Angie, and she's super busy. And, I can ask her questions, which is great, but it's also nice to have a success partner who knows, what you're doing, where you're at, and you can ask them questions on the fly. Like, I ask Allison questions all the time, and she's there and she's ready, knows what's up, So support and asking questions is huge, because then you'll have someone, if you're busy and running around and you need to ask a question, they got you. Okay, that was the end of my rant.
That's perfect. And you guys, I just like 5 minutes ago realized that after I got kicked off, the recording stopped recording. And so I just started recording it. So sorry if you're catching the recording, you missed a lot of good stuff. I'm so sorry. But that's just why you have to be on live with us, right? All right. So the last part of this call, we wanted to just talk about top 3 tips and how to make this a successful business. That's the point of this call, is how to make make yourself successful. And so we kind of just brainstormed, the things that we're doing and how it helps us be successful. So the first one is you have to put yourself out there. You have to put your ego aside. And I know there's a lot of fears in this business, but that's the same with life, right? And so thinking about when you first signed up as a coach, I'm sure you were absolutely terrified, right? Like, you were scared. Like, what am I getting myself into? What am I doing? Do I want to do this? But guess what? Are you scared now? No, you're not. You're a coach. Like, you figured it out. Same thing with first posting on Instagram for the first time. You were probably absolutely terrified to push that post button because you were like, what are people going to think? But guess what? Now you've been posting for so many weeks or months or years that you're not scared about doing it anymore. Same thing with that. So going live for the first time, right? Like sending your first cold message invite, all of these things are scary, but the first time you do it, it gets easier. Second time gets easier and easier. And so every time, you know, you learn something that you're like, I want to implement that, but I'm scared, you have to just do it. You can't let the fear hold you back, or you're never going to figure out, you know, exactly what are all these things that I am capable of doing. So for example, like I said, I was terrified to reach out to Kinsley. I had no idea this girl was. I'd never said one word to her, and I'm basically asking her to be a relationship with me for the rest of my life. You know, like that's kind of a big deal, right? But guess what? It clearly worked out. And if it didn't, I would learn and I would find a different, you know, a different person. The other thing that kind of came into my head is when I first started and I don't know if this is a really big thing anymore, but when I first started a couple years ago, it was really huge to go live on Facebook and to like share your story. And so I went live on my public Facebook, which I had like 1,500 friends on there, you know, from like literally elementary school all the way up to college, you know, and I went on there and I shared my story about my eating disorder and how Beachbody saved my life. Like that was absolutely terrifying. I was bawling my eyes out and snot even came out of my nose. Like I'm not even kidding. And but you guys, the amount of support that came out of it and the amount of people that actually ended up joining me because I did that was insane. And so that was terrifying for me, but I still did it and I had the best outcome. And so you have to just push yourself to do it, because you know, in the end, like you're going to learn something out of it. So you have to just put your pride aside. And you know, if you are scared of it, like reach out to your upline, reach out to your success partner, and they're going to be there with you and they can help you figure out, okay, like how can we make this less scary? How can I make sure that you're actually going to do this? But you have to push that fear aside. So that's kind of our first tip, is just, you know, getting past those hard things and just doing them anyway.
Totally. The second thing, honestly, when we were creating this list, I'm like, I don't know if this should be number 1, 2, or 3, but I'm like, it's got to be on the list. Is you have to do the work. You got to do the things, right? And it's so great in this business when you're like, okay, I posted on Instagram, I did my workout. Okay, great. Like you're a challenger. Like you are a client. You did the workout. Okay, plenty of people do the workout. But what are you going to do in this business to move your business forward, right? So what are the things that you're doing that's going to, you know, make something of this business, I guess is what I want to say, is that honestly, you have to put in the work. So like we said before, do the vitals, obviously, right? But just make sure that you're really doing the tangible thing. So it's one thing to watch all the trainings. It's one thing, okay, you press play on your workout. Okay, you drank your shake. Does anyone know that? Does anyone know that you did your workout? Does anyone know that you drank your shake? Does anyone know that, you know, you are a coach, that you're running a business? So you have to make sure if you're doing all these things on the side, you're like, done, check. Okay, now put them on Instagram. Now put them in your Instagram stories. Now start showing people what you're doing and that you actually do have a business and that you have a service to provide and that you can help people. So how are you going to do that, right? You're like, okay, now I have all these things to do and, you know, I am doing my workout, but you have to make sure that you're organized, right? So one of the other things I put on was to-do list. So make a to-do list for yourself. Make a checklist, and that you have to do every single day. I know most of you guys know this, but honestly, it's like one of those things that should be like a no duh, right? So I had like this little dry erase board, and every single day I have to make sure I do all of these things before I go to bed, right? So, and some of the things that I like leave to the very end are the things that are going to move my business forward. And I look at it and I'm like, all the things that I did are for me. And then the rest of the things like send invites, talk to people, answer messages, you know, some of these things, reach out to my coaches, reach out to my challengers. Those are the things that are going to move your business forward. Those are the things that are going to, you know, matter in the long run. You have to make sure you're doing the things. So get a dry erase board. I'm telling you it works. The other thing is, like I said, besides doing like to-do list, is tracking. Make sure you are actually, like Allison said, that we help each other do this. We have a little Google Doc, and we've created like day, you know, January 1st to January 31st, and we have a little log. And we have to make sure that we log in. That some days we do better than others, but it's something, right? And it's a start. So try to start tracking, even if it's by yourself or with your success partner, tracking what you're doing each day, because it'll pay off, you know, especially if you do a little bit each day or you do a lot each day, it's going to move your business forward. And then the other two things I had on there really quick is planning and goal setting. So make sure you have something somewhere visual. I wish I could turn my computer around, but I have this big vision board where I write down what my goals look like, long-term, short-term, things like that. So make sure you have everything in your face, visual, so that you will put in the hard work to make it happen. Cool.
All right. And then tip number 3, you guys, is doing all these things consistently. And I think about it. And if you were, oh, never mind. This was a different team call I'm thinking of. But if you, like, we all have other jobs or, we're in school and things like that. If we are like, you know what, I just don't feel like going today. Like, we're going to get straight up fired. You know what I mean? And so there are days, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys there are days where I feel like I want to do all the things, because there are definitely days where I don't, especially recently. I've just have had other things going on where I'm like, I don't feel like doing the work. And that's the thing, is we're not going to get fired from coaching. No one's going to fire us from coaching, right? You might see a dip in your income. Absolutely. But no one can make you quit. No one can you're not going to get fired if you're not showing up like you do in the real world. So you have to be the one that shows up for yourself. And I feel like something that I heard recently that is like, I don't know, something that you can really hold on to and think about is, for me, like, one of my goals is to be a 6-figure earner in the business. And so I'm going to act like I already am a 6-figure earner, because that's what's going to get me to do the things every single day. Because somebody who's a 6-figure earner isn't just going to sit on the couch and not work, right? So if I want to be that, I have to act like I already am. If you want to be a diamond coach, you have to act like you already have your team of 12 people, right? You're having all these conversations. Whatever your big goal is right now, act like you already are that, because that's going to make you show up for yourself. And like I said, you guys, there have been so many times where I don't want to show up. Have I missed a post here and there? Yes. Have I not done as many Instagram stories? Yes. But am I still doing at least something in my business every single day? Yes. Whether that's getting my workout in, maybe that's all I need. That's all I could handle that day. At least I got in my workout. At least I read personal development. At least I responded to all the messages that were in my inbox. If there's we all have hard days. We all have days where, things might get tough. And, I did a team call with this for Team Breakthrough, but I still am showing up for the things that I need to do, because this is my business. And like, this is where part of my income is coming from. And so, yeah, like Kinsley, she wants to be elite 6-figure earner by 30. Like, she's going to act like she already is that. Not act like she's already 30, but she's going to act like she already is a 6-figure earner. And that's what's going to keep her motivated and doing all the things. Hey, I'm almost 32. It's fine. So those are just kind of our top tips on how to make everything happen. And I did want to point out, I saw a comment that Olivia said, which is so, so true. When you're making like your to-do list, make sure you prioritize, okay, these are my top 3 things, and focus on those. Because if you look at your to-do list that is like 1,000 miles long, you're not going to want to do it, right? So focus on the 3 things. And if you get to 4, if you get to 5 that day, amazing. If you don't, like, you'll just keep adding that to your next to-do list. So I saw that, and I wanted to just point that out. And if there's any other questions or things we missed in the chat, we'll go back here. I know we have a little bit of time left. If anyone has a question, you can chat it out. Yes, invites should be at the top of the list. That's the IPA, like we were talking about in the chat, income producing. And that's, by inviting is where you're going to get your people, right?
Yeah. The business building activities. Yes. Honestly, when I write down I think Olivia's got her like list on there too, but when I write down my list, I like to start it how my day starts, to organize yourself. So like, when you get up, what are you going to do? So when you get up, so you're not like, oh, I'm going to go do this over here, and you get distracted by 50 million things. I know Allison does the same thing. She always starts her day with her Energize and her personal development. And I freaking love that, because I know, I'm like, okay, like, I'm starting my day with my Energize and my personal development, because I know that after that, I'm going to want to do my workout. And then after that, I post on, my, in my boot camp, and then I post my workouts. And then I make sure I'm consistent with my stories, do my posts, and do my messages. Those are like the top things, because those are the things that are going to, that is what we do. That's who we are. And that shows people that you're, that you're doing, you know. So kind of just, yeah, you can simplify it. It's just like, let's get into other things. Re-record videos. What about you guys? What's on your list? Yeah, we can chat. Unmute, yo.
So for me, I just watched one of the lives in the Diamond Push group, and she was like, set up a call with 20 people, and I was like, shoot. So I am, for the next like hour and a half before I go to bed, I'm going to be setting up Zoom appointments to talk to 20 people.
Love it. I know, I saw that too, and I was like, oh golly, that's a big challenge. But hey, it'll work. I love it.
Any other questions, you guys? I'm like, yeah.
If not, I feel like kind of the big thing of this call is obviously those top 3 things that we just talked about, but like getting yourself a success partner and knowing how to utilize that person so that it is advantageous, is that a word, for the both of you. And if you're looking for a partner, like we said, go through Instagram, do some stalking. Otherwise, reach out to your upline, and that person can definitely help you out probably and find someone that they think maybe on the team or on Team Uproar or, you know, a bigger team could be good for you. So hopefully you guys are taking something away from this call. Do we want to do a quick little boomerang for our Instagrams? Get your phones out. Picture.
You guys are speaking my language right now.
All right, you guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I always feel so cheesy sometimes. Oh, I was not even like on my computer. Can we do that one more time?
Yeah, my phone sucks.
Okay. 1.
I have no idea what we're doing.
Amanda, we are taking a mini boomerang or picture that we can post on our Instagram stories and be like, team call night.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tag you so you can see what I'm talking about after I post it.
Okie doke.
Wait.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now mine worked.
It's so cute.
Perfect. All right, well, you guys, thanks for hopping on live. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. If you haven't catch the National Wake Up Call, make sure you guys go back and watch the recording on that too at some points, because it's amazing, and she's from Team Uproar, so that's pretty sweet. All right, you guys, well, we'll chat with you guys later. Have a wonderful night. Bye, everyone.
Bye.